experienced news team. This is NBC 29 HD News at 11.
Donald Trump introduces his vice presidential pick as Republican Party leaders gather for their convention in Cleveland. We have reaction. Plus,
they do a lot of empowering to sort of get them out in the community, get them connected with community resources.
Charlottesville competitive arm wrestlers, yes, that's a thing, they're lending a hand to students who are making that transition from classroom to career. But first tonight, a Charlottesville man's charged with DUI after crashing his car into this townhome on Mickey Drive. You can see the damage, the wall there bowed in at the front entrance of that house. That's where police say 29-year-old Buddy Tamang crashed his Toyota Camry into the building. It happened just before 11:30 this morning. Officers say Tamang told them he was parked and thought he put the car in reverse when he hit the accelerator. But the car was in drive and slammed into the building. Police say the crash did about $20,000 in damage. Tamang is being held at Albemarle Charlottesville Regional Jail tonight. The good news, no one was injured. Some strong storms rolled through parts of central Virginia and the Shenandoah Valley this evening. You can see this is on our mountain cam. It starts to shake and move there as those winds were whipping up. A line of rain moved through just before 6 o'clock here. Storm Team 29 meteorologist Eric Pritchett is joining us now to tell us if we're clear for the rest of the night. How about it, Eric?
Hey there, Matt. Yes, we are. Yes, between 2 and about 7 o'clock this afternoon and evening, we saw that line of storms really roll from the valley across the Blue Ridge into central Virginia, some with some isolated severe wind gusts, some with localized flooding, and some certainly heavy rainfall. Areas of fog tonight were much quieter. We should have a hot but dry Sunday, and heat, humidity, and the return of storms into early next week. Here's a live look at NBC 29's exclusive dual-pole triple Doppler radar, a quiet scan. The storms from earlier down across southeastern Virginia, but there were some hard-hit areas, especially this northern section of Augusta County out toward the Mount Solon, Sangerville area. Doppler radar estimates of over 4 inches of rainfall from those storms earlier this afternoon. You can see now most of the activity down across the Tidewater, out across portions of the Middle Peninsula and the Northern Neck. Essentially, this was caused by a weakening front that is basically going to just wash out and dissipate as we roll into our Sunday. Highs today well into the 90s across much of central Virginia. 71 outside our studios currently, 69 in Madison, an inch and 3/10 of rainfall today, 70 in Louisa, 67 in Weir's Cave. So we'll start with some fog early tomorrow morning. Temperatures in the 60s will heat up into the upper 80s and low 90s. Not too humid tomorrow. I'll have more on our Sunday and week ahead forecast a bit later. Matt?
Thank you, Eric. To Decision 2016. Tonight, Donald Trump's vice presidential pick is back home in Indiana, arriving by plane there. Family members, friends, and dozens of supporters greeted Governor Mike Pence as he arrived at the Indianapolis Executive Airport this evening. The candidate thanked the crowd for their support and said he is humbled by the opportunity. Pence praised Trump, calling him a, quote, good man. Earlier today, the presumptive Republican presidential nominee formally introduced Pence as his running mate, saying that they can pull together the party and beat Hillary Clinton. NBC's Steve Handelsman has the details and reaction from Cleveland, where delegates are gathering for the GOP convention.
Donald Trump said Indiana Governor Mike Pence was his first choice to unite the Republican Party.
Mike Pence is a man of honor, character, and honesty.
Who Trump said put Hoosiers back to work.
The turnaround and the strength of Indiana has been incredible.
In fact, the recovery of Pence's state was typical. But unlike Trump, Pence is a favorite of family values Republicans.
I'm a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order.
Pence said yes to Trump on Wednesday.
America needs to be strong for the world to be safe. On the world stage, Donald Trump will lead from strength.
After the terror attacks in France and in the U.S., Trump pledged his ticket has a mission.
We are the law and order candidates. And with the law and order party, we're going to change things around.
The wrong changes, warned Hillary Clinton. Bad for the economy, she said, women, immigrants, and literally the planet. At the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame today, Republicans in Cleveland for the convention accepted Trump's pick to join his band.
Mike Pence is a conservative, and some of the conservative base, I believe, has been skeptical.
Here in Cleveland last night, Trump won a key battle against the never-Trump forces. A vote requiring Trump delegates to vote Trump on the first ballot, even if they now want someone else. A virtual guarantee that Donald Trump and Mike Pence will be the GOP nominees. I'm Steve Handles, NBC News, Cleveland.
Democratic congressional candidate Jane Dittmar is outlining her strategy to reach voters across the 5th District. Today, party leaders and volunteers met at Dittmar's campaign headquarters in Charlottesville to come up with a plan to connect with all 23 cities and counties in the district. Campaign leaders explained the importance of getting out the vote now instead of waiting until the fall. The group also discussed ways to draw in both Democrats and Republicans.
We want them to know that we are a campaign that once I'm elected will be representing them, and we want them to know that our intentions have a lot of goodwill to everybody.
Dittmar's campaign also announced it exceeded its second quarter fundraising goal, bringing in more than $301,000. Her Republican opponent right there, State Senator Tom Garrett, reported raising a little more than $90,000. And Dittmar's opponent, State Senator Garrett, says he has a history of winning campaigns in which he was outspent. In a statement to NBC 29, Garrett says, quote, "The first quarter reports leading into the GOP convention for Virginia's 5th congressional district had multiple candidates leading us in both fundraising and spending. Yet we emerged as the winning team. November will be no difference." NBC 29 covering Virginia tonight. A Waynesboro high school student is organizing a peaceful march to show support for police officers and the Black Lives Matter movement. Senior Kat Johnson tells us the march will include community leaders, teachers, and students. The silent march will begin at 5 o'clock Sunday evening in Constitution Park. Organizers plan to lead the march through downtown Waynesboro before ending back at the park. Albemarle County Police are building relationships with children in the community by teaching them how to stay safe on two wheels. A bike rodeo was held today at Habitat for Humanity's Southwood neighborhood. It is a joint effort between Habitat and County Police. Before the children got to riding, those officers there checked the bikes and helmets to make sure everything was safe and secure. Then the children were put to the test.
When we set these courses up, we'll have stop signs worked into it. The officers will use a whistle so they can start to learn what some of those audible signals are. We also teach them hand signals when they're riding a bike.
If the children don't have bicycle helmets, the police department provides them for free. Police say the event is also an opportunity for children to form positive relationships with officers. A Charlottesville organization is using arm wrestling to lend a hand to young students in the community who need some work experience after high school. NBC 29's Nora News is live in our Charlottesville newsroom now with this story new at 11. Hi there, Nora.
Hi, Matt. Well, the Charlottesville Lady Arm Wrestlers, or CLAW for short, host benefits all year, but tonight's benefit goes to a charity that's close to a lot of those wrestlers' hearts. For these women, arm wrestling is all about self-expression.
CLAW is crazy and chaotic, but in good spirit and very much women-centered and women-empowering.
The Charlottesville Lady Arm Wrestlers, or CLAW for short, doesn't host a typical girls' night out.
Place to kind of come out of their shell, like a safe environment where nobody's going to be judgy.
Saturday night's competition benefits a Charlottesville charity that helps young students come out of their shells.
So we work with young adults as they're transitioning out of high school into college and career.
Lady arm wrestler Dolly Joseph started the nonprofit Building Experiences 2 years ago with friends.
We saw there was a real need for programs for kids who had left high school.
Like, that was my first year there in college ever, and ever being in that kind of environment where it was really hands-off from teachers.
Building Experiences volunteers helped Jackie Morris transition to college life at Piedmont, Virginia Community College. Now, Morris wants to work on social justice issues in education abroad.
I learned a lot of things within school academically and also things outside school like networking.
Morris is returning the favor, volunteering at the CLAW fundraiser in hopes of raising money for the next generation of students. Is to raise between $3,000 and $4,000 tonight, but if you'd like to help benefit experiences, all of that information is on our website at NBC29.com.
Some pretty cool get-ups there and for a good cause there. Nora News in our Charlottesville newsroom. Thank you, Nora. Charlottesville's First African Baptist Church is collecting clothing and home goods to donate to military veterans. All these boxes contain thousands of items for men, women, and children. You can see coats and sweaters, several boxes of shoes. The church also collected bedding, kitchenware, and an assortment of pots and pans. On Monday morning, the group AMVETS will pick up these donations to distribute. AMVETS is a national organization which strives to enhance the quality of life for veterans. Shakespeare's World comes alive in Charlottesville tonight. We will take you to the celebration of A Midsummer Night's Dream.
And we had a mid-afternoon and early evening round of showers and thunderstorms. Those have departed. How's Sunday shaping up? I'll have your forecasts coming up.
Waynesboro hosted Covington in Valley baseball action. Wolf Golke is in with your highlights later in sports.
As Liberty University athletics continue to climb to new heights, Game On